Chicago Bears stayed busy as they have a short week, and they make 3 roster signings ahead of Week 13 against the Eagles. Along with that, too, we heard from Ben Johnson and his high praise for this Bears team. And finally, a big loss for the Eagles this upcoming weekend that benefits the Bears, but hope he gets well soon. But before we get more into today's show, hit that like button if you think Ben Johnson has done a great job as the Chicago Bears head coach. First in the NFC North back-to-back weeks at 8-3. And right at the tippy top, almost at the NFC standings. So if you guys think he should be coach of the year, comment Y for yes or N for no. I sure think he does. And our next giveaway is here, an autographed Tyreek Stevenson photo. All you got to do to enter is like this video, comment Y or N, and subscribe. If you hit all notifications, you get extra entry. And we have the winner of the Loveland photo at the end of this video. Let's get into it. The Bears, 3 new signings today. A big one for the Chicago Bears. Lots of news, and this was reported out by Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune. Bears plays tight end Nikola Kalinic on the practice squad injured list, and the team signed 3 players to the practice squad: linebacker Dominique Hampton, tight end Qadir Ismail, and defensive lineman Jeremiah Martin. Let's go into it real quick. So quickly going into Nikola, he actually was on the active roster this past week for the Chicago Bears on special teams. He was the one that was shoved after the play and tackled. And unfortunately, during this game, he suffered an injury where the Bears ended up playing him on injured list. So hope he gets better soon. And let's go into Dominique Hampton, the linebacker that the Bears brought in, who also is a hybrid defensive back, will be on the practice squad. He worked out with the Bears last week as one of the 4 that came in, and now he's on their practice squad. So a little bit about him: at 6'2", 220 pounds, 25 years old, attended Washington, and was the 161st overall pick in 2024 by the Washington Commanders. Coming to the Chicago Bears, he doesn't have any NFL stats, but he was a monster at Washington during his final year in NCAA. 109 total tackles, 65 of them being solo, led all safeties in the NCAA that year. Along with that, 2 interceptions, 7 pass deflections, no tackles, for loss, or sacks, or anything else, but a true ball hawk in big defensive back. So he could play a hybrid defensive back linebacker position for the Bears. He does have the size in order to play both. He'd be a really big defensive back. But again, he worked out with the Bears last week, and good to see him back at Halas Hall. Second guy I'm going to talk about is Jeremiah Martin, who has a connection to Dennis Allen from when his time in the New Orleans Saints. He also was on the Green Bay Packers practice squad and also the Cleveland Browns. So going a little bit more into him right now, 6'4", 267 pounds, decent size for an edge/defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman hybrid. 25 years old, also attended Washington and was an undrafted rookie free agent. And during his time in his final year in college, 41 total tackles at the defense, interior, and outside position with 24 solo, 1 pass deflection, 11 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. He has that connection to Dennis Allen where the Saints picked him up while Dennis Allen was the Saints head coach. So he's gotten to see him before, clearly liked him enough to bring him in for a workout. He also knows a little bit about Green Bay and what's going on up there. And we play the Packers in a couple of weeks multiple times. So maybe some good intel to have. And then finally, the newest tight end that's replacing Nikola on the practice squad, Qadir Ismail, who was a part of the Ravens practice squad for multiple years. He will now be a part of the Chicago Bears for now. So welcome to all 3 of the new guys. Exciting news there. And even more exciting news from Ben Johnson, the Bears head coach who sits at 8-3. Was very, very happy after the Bears' big win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw him grabbing defensive coordinator Dennis Allen and celebrating. But in his postgame, he was very happy, and the tone was a lot more better, a lot more welcoming. And honestly, this is the most happy I've seen Ben Johnson. So he said, really proud of the guys, thought they did a phenomenal job just responding. I know we're decimated in certain areas, and the easy thing to say, whoa, is me. But our guys didn't do that. Going a little bit more into it, they stepped up and kept battling through. It happens to most teams each season where your depth gets tested. It just so happens it was this week for us, which gotta say to him, the guys are bought into this entire thing. That's why they continue to fight hard. That's why the Bears don't give up. And that's why they have so many cardiac wins, which is totally fine with me. Because also being this bought in and fighting through, the Bears sit at the top of the NFC North in back-to-back weeks at 8-3 now, right ahead of the Green Bay Packers. Huge game this upcoming weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles, where if the Bears can win and we can somehow get a Packers loss here, the Bears will really start to separate themselves as The Bears will enter Green Bay at 9-3, but can't predict anything now, but big game this upcoming Friday. Now, high confidence for Ben Johnson as well. And this is exactly what the players are bought into. He said, listen, nothing. When asked about, he reacted to no Rodgers playing against Chicago. He said, listen, nothing. We just keep playing. It doesn't matter who is playing. We're going to keep going. And that's the new mentality of this Bears team. That is not the scared Eberflus Bears. That's not the scared Nagy Bears. This team is pedal to the metal, and they think they can win every game, and they've won 4 in a row, and on top of it, too, they just keep on winning ball games, so got to love it. And then also, he had very high praise for the linebacker room, talking about that next man up mentality. He said, can't say enough good things about the linebackers that stepped up in that game. D-Jack, DeMarco Jackson, was our starting Mike linebacker. He called that game. He was the green dot. I thought he did a great job. And along with that, too, he also said, we thought Ruben Hippolyte was going to be our will linebacker, and he goes down with the injury early in the game, and Amen comes in, and he doesn't miss a beat for a guy that hasn't played a lot of football this year, which no denial about this. This group right here did a good job. I mean, Ruben Hippolyte, while he was out there, already accounted for 2 tackles, one of them being solo, unfortunately got injured. But Jackson and Amen, 15 tackles, 14 tackles, 29 between the two, 7 of them being solo. These guys were all over the field and doing a really good job. And that's that next man up mentality that Ben Johnson's talking about. And he's happy about it, and we should be too, because this is exactly what the team needed. Now, guys, before we get more into today's show, I am currently 22 away from my next goal of 39,800, and we're 222 away from 40,000. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, you enter to win that Tyreek Stevenson autograph photo, but let's get more into it. Ben Johnson hit a little bit more on a big piece that is missing from this Bears defense. And no, it's not Kyler Gordon. No, it's not Jalen Johnson, because we know that it's Tremaine Edmunds, who was placed on IR right before the Bears game this past weekend. A huge loss to this ball club, as he has been one of the best linebackers in the NFC and was having a career year up to this point. And he was on pace for over 150 tackles. Great ball player. Unfortunately, though, he'll be out. But Ben Johnson, when asked about it, if he would return this season, he said, I think so, yeah. Good sign there. And we're going to absolutely need him, considering the fact that Kevin Byard, Nashawn Wright, and Tremaine Edmunds have 14 interceptions between the 3. And by the way, these guys right here, all are the top 3 leaders in the NFL in interceptions. Along with that, too, between this group, you have 25 pass deflections, 9 of them coming from Tremaine Edmunds. So definitely missing him this past week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were able to run all over us. That being said, next man up. And we need him back, especially for late football. Bears have a huge opportunity here to continue to make a playoff push. They're in a really good position right now, but they can't back off the gas pedal, and they have their biggest challenge of the season with the Philadelphia Eagles this upcoming weekend. Let's get a little bit more into today's news. Speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles, is that they had a huge loss on the injured report, unfortunately. Eagles rookie safety Andrew Makuba, who actually was very highly scouted by the Chicago Bears, was a top 30 visit according to reports, is undergoing surgery and he will miss significant time. And this report came out earlier. It came from Ian Rappaport talking about how he unfortunately will be out. Apologies on the mistake right there. But a big time break here for the Chicago Bears. He's been having a very solid season for the Eagles so far in that defensive secondary. He's been fast, very athletic, causes a lot of disruption in the passing game, and the Bears won't have to go against him this upcoming Friday in Philadelphia. So let's go through Andrew real quick. Rookie defensive back, came from Texas, standing at 5'11", 186 pounds, only 22 years old, was the 64th overall pick by the Philadelphia Eagles this past draft. And he's been having a heck of a season so far. 46 total tackles so far, 7 of them being solo, with 2 interceptions, 3 pass deflections, 2 tackles for loss, half a sack. So he's kind of being used as a blitzing defensive back. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries. Solid impact overall on that Philadelphia Eagles defense. That being said, he will not be active against the Chicago Bears as he's getting surgery. So positive vibes only for him. Never wish injury on anybody, and we hope that he comes back soon, healthier and better than ever. So, guys, as we close out today's show, that winner of the Colston Loveland autograph photo. And congrats to Cubs Joe Janoski, 2016 exclamation point. He is the winner of the Colston Loveland autograph photo. We still got the Tyreek Stevenson photo out right now, so you can enter to win that one. That one's announced next Monday. But with that, guys, thank you as always for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. If you haven't already, please go like, comment, and subscribe. But my name is Nick Brody, and as always, I want to hear it loud and proud in the comments. Bear down, baby.